The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Oh, no, he lost the football. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. This one no doubt important for Matt Gay from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Gay's kick is good. And the lead grows to 4. It's 11-7. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Shaquille Barrett in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from Silicon Valley.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from the Superdome. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready. Double waiting. Check 55 to Mike. Here we go.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 75 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Cousins. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph, 70 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
95-56.
That's good for the Saints.
Let's go.
First down.
Easy.
First and 10.
I got it.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Bree's going to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
On 2nd and 2, Breeze. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Trying to pound it in with Washington. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Keep playing hard.
6-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
What we got? 56.
3rd and long for Cousins. Room to run past midfield. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Throwing is Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And that is going to be incomplete. Mike Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Saints will have the football back. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP. Coach of the year, John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year, Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill, no surprise there.
Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, that credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle.
A breakaway from Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 49 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can
Through an opening, and there he goes. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, 75 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Bailey got the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Let's get to some Hall of Fame talk while we have a second, because last week we mentioned the 15 guys that we knew were going into the Hall. 5 added: Isaac Bruce, Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, Steve Atwater, and Troy Polamalu. You think about it, CD. For Polamalu, it was his first year of eligibility. People knew he would go in. Atwater was his 16th year. He had to wait a long time.
He certainly did, and I often wonder about the psychology of it all, because when you're young in your career, meaning young retired, right, these things mean something to you, but I don't know if they hit with the same impact as it will for Steve Atwater. 16th year. Now, I think Steve would like somewhere to be a happy medium. Maybe the 8th year would have been a lot better. But the bottom line is, the older you get, boy, imagine the emotions running through there, the validation, probably haven't had the applause in a long time. That's going to come back to you now. Troy Polamalu, he essentially stepped off the field and into the Hall of Fame, but it doesn't matter. Bottom line.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check.
A final shot before half for Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
We play to win. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The second quarter starts off with a bang as they snag over 30 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Stop your mind.
Second and 10 at the Saints' 44-yard line.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Throwing again on second down. Breeze, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and it's 3rd and short.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. And they are going for it. Here's Hill, escaping the pressure right. Looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Well, they had had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Again, it's Kamara. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
You ain't going nowhere. Hey, Delta. Get it.
Throwing on 3rd down. Hill. And he finds Cook. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A 10th carry for Kamara. And some room to run now. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there out of Kamara. 45 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Breeze now on 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
5-1. 5.
Now Breeze. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's the big one you needed, something to get you away from your own end zone. Now you've got life.
Not only do you have life and open field, but think of the lift that your whole team just got after that play.
Now a desperation throw deep. He's got a man, complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Sheldon Rankins in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Cousins to throw. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. Here's the former Sooner, Austin Seibert, to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Down. 50, plant.
51 to Mike. Watch the run, watch the run.
Hit it.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there on the first play of the game. Give him 53 yards on the ground.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's first and 10. On the ground, Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
Greystone, travel.
To throw is Hill. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards that time to push him up, first and goal.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
24's the mic. 24's the mic.
Hey, alert 33.
Let's go, let's bring it.
Hey, Alpha.
24.
Mayfield looks to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, 73 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys.
Latavius Murray, the 40. He's at the 30, 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield. And he'll find a man. That's Landry. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Mayfield to throw it. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards that time. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, He was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham there to make the grab, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back and forth first half that we've seen. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Hill, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. A give to Kamara running right. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Hill. This is a catch by Ted Ginn. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Hill. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sione Takitaki coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Kamara. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down at about 9 to go.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they take a 17-14 lead. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Browns drive about to get started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. He was looking for Landry that time.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Ready? Ready? Good, good, good.
On second down, Kamara. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. From the 25 on second down, Mayfield. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. On third down, Mayfield. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will tie things at 17-all. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Kamara trying the right side. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He'll have a first down past the 40 and finally taken down at the 44-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Hill. He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back now here live in New Orleans. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They'll run on first down. It's Hunt, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, his 2nd sack of the night. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Now Mayfield on 4th down. And this is going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
On first down, Murray. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Murray. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Running with Kamara. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go away.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. Oh, that is a complete shank. It's no good. Off to the right, and that changes everything here in OT. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Flush to his right. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more